You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, as a nightmare season continues to unfold for the Las Vegas Raiders, by the way, they draw Shedeur Sanders this weekend. Oh, no, you brought up the Browns. That's just who they're playing. All right, don't kill the messenger. Don't kill the messenger. Anyway, as this season continues to unfold, a lot is starting to emerge. I've made several videos, including another one yesterday after a disastrous game offensively from Chip Kelly yet again. I think you're cruising towards potentially now a house cleaning, which is crazy. Do I think John Spytek would hang around? Yeah, that's Brady's guy. But a potential Hall of Fame coach in Pete Carroll, gone. Chip Kelly, gone. It should have never been hired. And now you're starting to get different things that is oozing out of the pores, the rottenness pores. Yeah, rottenness. From various places around the internet. From insiders and people involved in the organization. Pete Carroll, you see that right there. 2026 divorce. Ari Mevoff said Sunday he believes Carroll and the Raiders are moving in the direction of divorce. Quote, the sense I get, the front office and coaching staff, it's not eye to eye right now. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's just not, and that's a problem, Mevoff said on NFL Spotlight with Ari Mevoff. Let's make this clear. Every team has that. Every coach is thinking about the here and now. Every GM is thinking about the here and now, but also next year, 2 years, and 3 years down the line, Mevoff continued. When you're talking about a 74-year-old head coach, that's a whole different ballgame. So that dichotomy has been fascinating to follow all year, and I think something is going to happen at the end of the year. I just don't know what yet. There's just a dichotomy of we've got to win now versus we got to prepare for the future. It's just not a good balance right now. You got to blow this whole thing up. I mean, I know a lot of Raiders fans probably don't want to hear this. Max Crosby probably ought to be a Dallas Cowboy right now. Honestly, for a couple of first-round picks and some extras. Why? And look, I really like the Pete Carroll, Geno Smith hire. They were real solid in Seattle. But there's just not enough talent on the team. This roster is devoid of talent. That's why I think something's going to happen. Maybe it's just Pete, because Pete is a brilliant coach, a good culture guy, great energy, still doing it at a high level. This just probably wasn't the job for him right now, considering where the roster was, where the division is, and all those factors. So I think something is going to happen. They play the Cowboys on Monday night. By the time everyone hears this, the game will be over. They got destroyed. Interesting note, Mevoff's comments, he said these things before the Raiders were embarrassed by the Dallas Cowboys. So it sounds like one of many that suggested there is a disconnect between John Spytek and Pete Carroll. Okay, so in other words, what we got going on right now is Pete Carroll wants to win now because he's 74 years old. I don't blame him. By the way, I think there's a world where this team actually could have been somewhat solid if you hadn't hired Chip Kelly, if you'd have decided to pound the football. I mean, how do you not make a good character guy and what is a low-end number one and a high-end number two wide receiver in Jacoby Myers work is beyond me. with a team devoid of talent, you trade away that guy, and I get it. You need at this point the season's effed, but it's been very well established. Chip Kelly couldn't stand Jacoby Myers. Well, that raises red flags right there. I'm starting to think he can't stand Geno Smith either. After the Raiders' embarrassing loss to the Cowboys on Monday night, we have officially reached a new chapter of the season. It's an unfamiliar chapter for the Raiders fans, but this week is the first we've seen a few details leaked from the locker room. When seasons go off track, the Raiders are experiencing players, coaches, agents entering into preservation mode. A report Tuesday said Pete Carroll, John Spytek have not been seeing eye to eye as of late. One of the issues is Geno Smith dealing with in Chip Kelly's offense. Based on comments from SI insider Hondo Carpenter, Smith has not been given much freedom in Kelly's offense. Good God. Geno could be pointing fingers. He's not doing that, and I give him credit. I sincerely credit him for that. He's a man of integrity. He's like, you know what? That's not what we practice. I'm going to stick to the coaching game plan. I respect him for that. Now, he could come out and say, yeah, I would like to have some more liberty if he didn't. And so I think you've got to give more. He's a 13-year vet. I think you have to say to him, Geno, if they're lining up, daring you to run, you've got an opportunity to check into that. Let's just say I believe he needs more liberty to do that. I don't believe that he would say that. I don't believe that he would throw anyone under the bus, but I'm telling you, I think they need to give him more liberty to do that. Smith's not pointing fingers, but he's visibly frustrated. And, you know, he had that big rant the other day where he come out and said, you can blame everything on me. Well, Geno Smith's a guy, he's a high character dude. That's why I liked the combination. I was like, okay, we're going with a 3-year Seattle plan into whatever's going to be this vision as it transitions, and you'll probably draft a quarterback this next season or the season after. Geno's there, no pressure to play a rookie, yada, yada, yada. But number one, Ashton Genty, why draft him if you're going to have 4 rushing attempts in the first half? Now, Pete Carroll has come out and said, yeah, I'm the one that was calling those decisions. I don't believe that. Pete Carroll, another guy, is trying to eat a bullet on behalf of Chip Kelly. I can't figure that out. And still, I don't get who's. That's what I'm waiting to hear. Whose call was it to hire Chip Kelly to begin with? That's what I want to know. I know Belichick was a huge Chip Kelly fan. He would go out and study what Chip Kelly was doing on offense and this and that and the other. Did some of that rub off on Brady? A lot of these people, you hear them talk, when they talk, these analysts, they gush over Chip Kelly. In college, though, I mean, that's what he knows works in college. Those principles don't work in the National Football League. You know what's crazy? The Geno Smith comeback tour is probably over. Chip Kelly has probably officially killed Geno's career, which is wild. I mean, that's crazy. This goes back to coaching, folks. Ben McAdoo worked with Geno Smith with the Giants. McAdoo knew then Geno's a starting quarterback. He tried to elevate him, remember? He elevated Geno and set Eli Manning, and the fans went bananas. Well, he did that for a reason. The dirty little secret was Geno Smith was better than Eli Manning back then. He had figured it out. The light had clicked on. But the organization wouldn't let it happen. I just can't. I thought they were going to pound the rock Drafted a running back. Okay, they're going to run it. He's going to get 20 carries. Somebody else will get, 4 to 8 carry, but you're going to run the ball 25 times a game. Nah. Fuck it. We're going to try to throw it all over the lock. Can't protect nobody in pass protection. Offensive line wasn't good before the injuries. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.